Yes, okay,
So, you come up to be, dogs come to be smoke. Maybe. No. I'm not.
Troy, pick a time.
Now it's 6.
I do not like. You?
Is it all fixed?
Yes, we're all good now. Okay. Okay.
Okay, it is 6 p.m. We'd like to call to order our city council meeting.
Wow.
Candace, would you do a roll call, please? Oh, they'll hear you.
Councilmember Northville,
Here.
Councilmember Stevens,
Here.
Mayor Scott,
Here.
Councilmember Anderson,
Yes, and it's loud.
and Councilmember Birch,
Here.
and Councilmember Beal. Is he online?
No, not yet.
Okay, thank you. We'd like to begin with an opening prayer, and Katie Witt will say that,
Mhm.
followed by a pledge of allegiance, and Amanda Hanson will say that.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for this day. We're grateful for the beautiful world that thou hast created for us. And we're grateful for those who serve us and for the blessed circumstances in which we live. We're grateful for water and power. We're grateful for the ability to cool our homes and have safety. Please help us as we discuss important issues facing our city, that we will have inspiration, and these things we pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Stand. Repeat the pledge after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Anthony says reception is spotty, might not be able to join.
Okay, it's not crucial that he be here tonight.
Okay, do I have any public comments, Candace?
No.
Okay, moving on to the agenda then, presentations, 1A, livestock project presentation, John and Roy Everett. Are they here?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, we'll move on to item B, Scandinavian Festival and Summer Theater Camp, presentation again.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for giving me a few minutes to present on our wonderful Scandinavian Heritage 50th Anniversary Festival. I'm excited to be here. I hope most of you were able to attend. This year's festival was awesome, bigger and better than ever. We had more people than ever before, locals, visitors from all over Utah, and a few from out of country as well. We had a great energy at the festival. We had more vendors, more activities, and more to see and do than ever before. We also saw a huge increase in community involvement, which was one of the parts I was focusing on for the last year, and it really made a huge difference in how the festival felt. I had several people from the community tell me they hadn't been in years, and they were so excited that they made it. So I'm so glad that they came, and it seemed the whole town came together to celebrate. I think we all felt that. We made a few changes this year. We had a better and bigger layout, more cultural programming, better signage and flow, and I'm happy to say everything went very smoothly, and we had very little hiccups along the way. We got tons of positive feedback, both from visitors and vendors. People especially loved that we brought back more traditional Scandinavian elements, things like the villages, demonstrators, costuming, old-time music, and dancing and storytelling. It really brought the festival back to its roots, and people noticed. It felt more meaningful, more connected to our past, and a lot more fun. Now that we've celebrated this huge milestone, we're already looking ahead for future festivals and starting to move forward for 2026. This year, we're establishing an official festival board, a group dedicated to help lead, organize, and preserve what makes this event so special. We're building a brand new, updated, and more user-friendly website, thanks to a RAP tax grant that has already been approved. That will make it easier for people to get information, sign up for registrations, apply as vendors, and stay connected with us. We'll also be creating several committees focused on things like logistics, culture and history, education, volunteers, and marketing. So we can share the work and keep the festival strong. We love this festival. It means a whole lot to our community and everyone who comes back year after year to celebrate with us. This year proved what's possible when we come together, and we're so excited to build on that in the future. On behalf of our organizing team, the volunteers, and all who joined us this year, thank you for your continued support. We're incredibly proud of what has been accomplished, and we're excited to carry the festival forward in the future. I now have a short video presentation of some of the things that happened at the festival for you.
The assessment for the highlight is a show management.
You got excited about the turkey. Okay, all right. All right, what about you guys? You having a good time?
Yeah.
Are you ready to run this course?
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys ready to win? What are you gonna win? Turkey! Say a thank you to Pittman Farm. Thank you. Yeah, now why are you here? Turkey. Yeah, okay. Now you know why you're here. Now you know.
What the office is like after the successful in the medium as the copyright is over. Oh no. Cleanup starts next week, guys.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. A lot of fun to recap and kind of look through things. The second thing I'm here to present on tonight is summer theater camp. This was held in June.
Just a second, a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Have we sent that to Viewpoint? That video?
What's viewpoint?
Remember I emailed you about sending something to that place?
Oh, the ladies?
Yes,
I sent
the lady.
pictures and video, but not that.
Okay,
Send her that.
Would you like that?
okay.
Okay, sure. It is posted on our Facebook page right now. We're gonna figure
Yeah,
out.
but they need to be
Sure.
done.
And then let me ask you a question. I don't know how we would determine this. 'Cause I think it would be hard, but is there any idea how many people were there?
So, yeah, it's really hard to
2
say.
million.
Yeah.
There's 2 million.
Here's what I've been told.
I was in England.
When we were looking into some software that can actually look at the demographics of how many phones ping in the area and things like that. Last year, we pinged between 13 and 14,000 people, and I honestly think we are way above that.
I
So
think so too. It was
based on the
big this year.
yeah, the people cleaning up, the Everett family, he said, because he does this a lot, his company that he works for actually does porta potties and trailers and things for events. He said 30,000. I think we're probably closer to 25.
Wow,
That's still a lot.
That's still a lot of people, and it continues to grow
it's
every year.
growing.
Yeah. It is. Awesome. Any other questions before I move on? Okay,
Well done.
thank you. Okay, so recap of summer theater camp. This was held the first 2 weeks of June. This is our second year partnering with Manti High School, and it was a huge success. We had over 80 youth, ages 8 to 18, from all across Sanpete County joining us for a 2-week theater camp intensive. In just 11 days, these amazing kids worked together to pull off a full junior production of Honk Junior. It was a story of the ugly duckling, and they absolutely blew us away. This camp isn't just about putting on a show. It's about building life skills and building up people. Theater gives kids a chance to step out of their comfort zone, gain confidence, learn critical thinking, problem solving, and teamwork. It creates a space where every child, no matter, their background or experience, can feel valued and successful. The collaboration with Manti High School has been wonderful. We collect registration fees and we use a grant to help cover costs. While Manti handles tickets and concessions as a fundraiser for their choir department, it's a great win-win for both Ephraim City and Manti High School. This year, community support was incredible. We had hundreds of people come out to see the performance and cheer these kids on. The response was overwhelming in a very good way. Registration filled up in under 24 hours, and we had a massive waiting list at the end of that period, which just shows how much families value this opportunity. I've received dozens of letters and messages from parents and youth sharing heartfelt stories of personal growth, increased confidence, and pure gratitude for what the camp has given them. Some of these kids discovered talents they never knew they had. Others found a sense of belonging and made friends that they were missing. My hope is that this camp can continue to grow and become a beloved annual tradition in our community. It's clear the interest and the impact are there. And I truly believe it's something special for our youth and our town. Thank you so much for continuing to support community programs like this that are making a true difference in people's lives. I have a copy of several letters that I felt were particularly special, and I'd love to share those with you. And I also have a short 3-minute video about some of the fun things that happened at camp this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda.
Not again.
Oh, turn off your mute. You're muted again, I think.
Oh, yep, hold on. There it is, okay.
Thank you for your time.
Before you leave, Amanda, just a couple things, a couple of observations that I want to make. In front of each council member on our back of our nameplates is a list of 5 Ephraim City areas of emphasis. Let me just talk to you about some of these areas. There are 5 of them. Number 1, or A, infrastructure. B, quality of life. C, employee relations. D, financial integrity. And E, economic development. I want to go back to quality of life. What you've done with the Scandinavian Festival and this project is really centered around quality of life in Ephraim City. And that's second on our list for our residents, is that quality of life. You and your organization have done such an incredible job. I mean, we can talk about the light show. We can talk about the fall festival that you're planning right now. We can talk about the Easter egg roll that we have. You have such an integral part And what you're doing for our residents is providing something that is hard to measure, and yet we consider as a council, one of the most important things that we can provide as a city. Now we can't provide every single programming element that maybe a Salt Lake can do, or, you know, a Sandy or something like that, but you're punching way above, your weight class here, not to be disrespectful or anything like that, but you are absolutely accomplishing things that are remarkable, and so we want to thank you.
Thank you so much.
We recognize that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Moving on to item 2, consent items. 2A, ratification of warrant register between June 14th, 2025 and July 3rd, 2025, and B, approval of June 18th and June 25th, 2025 city council meeting minutes. Council, do you have any questions? If not, I'm looking for a motion.
I move that we approve the consent items.
I will second that.
Motion made by Councilmember Nordfeld, second by Councilmember Stevens. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to item 3, study agenda, Scandinavian Festival Board bylaws. Michael Thompson.
As Amanda mentioned, we are looking to establish an official board for the Scandinavian Heritage Festival, just to assist Amanda in planning that festival and ensure its continued success for the next 50 years. So you should have received a copy of the bylaws. In creating these, we looked at the Utah Shakespeare Festival bylaws and how they have things set up, and use that kind of as a basis to help us establish duties and responsibilities, the different standing committees, and other aspects of the bylaws, while maintaining or making sure that they fall within city ordinances and maintain the proper guidance as outlined by other boards. So any questions?
A couple of things. I did notice there's Article 6 meetings and Article 6 fiscal matters.
That is a typo. I will fix.
Yeah, and then it goes on. The one other thing that I might suggest is there was Shakespearean, they're a board unto themselves, but I kind of, when it talks about the fiscal, budget needs to be approved by the board, which I think it does, but I feel like it also should come before the city council for approval.
We will approve it in the budget, but I agree in section 4 of that same section, that financial reporting. Says the Director of Culture and Heritage, that's you now, right, Michael?
Yes, and that's pending approval of the department name.
Shall provide a financial report at each meeting and a full annual report at the conclusion of each fiscal year. Is that to the board, or is that to the city council, that full annual report?
That full annual report would be to both the board and city council, and I'll make sure
Okay.
that verbiage is in there.
Yeah, that needs to be put in there.
I can also make it so that the monthly report is provided to you as well, so.
You want to let Amanda have a question? She has a question.
Amanda, you had a question.
Well, Michael and I have been working on this week, and if I understand it correctly, the city council actually approves our budget for the
Budget.
festival ahead of time. So
Right.
I think what it's saying in the bylaws is that after that happens, it's his responsibility to make sure all of the fiscal stuff is happening underneath that budget that's already been approved. Is that correct? Or does that need to be explained more clearly?
Yes. it would be, as far as the bylaws go, yes, that would be, the budget for the Board of Government, or the board.
So like the budget that's set forth by the city council then goes to you and you're the one that has to approve the expenditures under that budget. I believe that's what, right? Am I
Yes.
understanding that correctly?
Yeah, so I'll work with the city through the normal budget process to get that budget approved and then present that to the board. So then they can,
We might have
know what-
clarification on that.
Okay.
Mhm.
sounds good. So that's just so the board is aware of what you as the city council has established as the,
As an overall budget.
yeah,
And then- But you still will report to city council on a monthly basis of where you're at
yes,
with regard to the budget. That would be important.
Or just, yeah, we love to hear what's being planned for the upcoming year.
Quarterly is fine.
Yeah, I think so.
quarterly, okay. I will update that verbiage as well.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns with how things are written? I think the copy I gave you, it says Ephraim Scandinavian Festival, and we have updated it, so it's the Scandinavian Heritage Festival Board. So,
Looks good other than that.
This is
the study,
yeah, this study.
So, looks good.
so I will get those changes made, and sent out.
Yeah, that's hold it down.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Michael. You're welcome.
You can just stand right there.
Yeah, you may want to just. Now moving on to action agenda, Ephraim City Resolution 25-15, ECR 25-14, that needs to be changed. It says 15 and A, and then number 1 is ECR 25-14, so those two need to be the same number. Consider a resolution adopting bylaws and formation of a historic committee. And then remove the and. At least on the agenda, I mean, that's the way it is on the agenda. Go ahead, Michael.
Okay. So last city council, I presented the bylaws for the historic city history preservation and promotion board for you to review, and we just want to get this board officially, or the bylaws officially approved, so we can establish this board. The main function of this board is to act as consultants for city council, helping to advise on how to manage and utilize the historic properties owned by the city, as well as helping to promote the heritage and history of Ephraim City. So this board will not have any financial dealings. It's advisory only to help present. The board will consist of some, sorry, my mind is blanking, some professionals in historic preservation, as well as residents. So we'll be able to advise you on how to proceed with the various historic properties, including Granary Arts, Pioneer Park, and other, or if we want to create any special historic districts within the city as well. So any questions on those?
How is the composition of the board? Do you have any ideas about members and composition of the board?
We would have a member of the DUP, Sarah Thomas, would be a member of the board, so that they can help, since they preserve the history of Ephraim, they can help advise on that. And then the board, I believe it's a 7-member board.
It is with 2 ex officio members?
So 9.
I would be one of the ex officio and then the city council, the assigned city council member. 4 of those members. Sorry. let me find it here.
At least 4 members. Yeah.
At least 4 members will consist of residents of Ephraim City. And preference is to those who have experience with historic properties or legal experience, just to give us a wide array of voices on the board. The remaining 3 would be open to non-residents, but preference to those who have a significant interest in Ephraim City. The reason I wrote it that way is considering that there's a lot of individuals who are from Ephraim that no longer live here in Ephraim, but are invested in Ephraim's history. Specifically Ryan Roos, who had the museum here on Main Street. Individuals like him and came to mind as I was writing this, so. Because he lived in Manti, wasn't an actual Ephraim City resident, but did own a business here. So, just gives us a little bit broader knowledge base as well that way. Any other questions?
What if we moved it up to 5 residents and 2 non-residents?
We can do that.
The reason for that is that I want to make sure that our local residents are fully invested. They have, I guess, the most, they have a lot of input
Yes.
and they have a lot of feelings about these historical buildings. And when you get 4 residents, 3 non-residents, it just feels
It
kind of.
can be 7 residents. It's not
Right,
required that 3 be non-residents,
Right.
but it is required that 4 be resident.
right.
All 7.
All 7
Yeah.
could be residents.
So you're saying maybe non-residents?
Yeah, 3 may be non-residents, but can be residents as well. It was just to allow, like I said, for individuals like Ryan Roos who are invested in the history of Ephraim, but may not live here in the city. And have expertise to be an advisor.
But I'd be fine if we moved it back too. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I saw that. How is the city council gonna have any say on who it is that we appoint?
Like every other board, yes, you would approve who is appointed. Yeah, so they would apply just like any other board.
Okay.
And also, we haven't fleshed this out, but I think it would be important for city council to be in on the interviews of the individuals who would be serving both on this board and the Scandinavian board as well.
That's not outlined in the bylaws, so.
Right.
It would be a
Well, it does
policy
say,
or procedure.
Would you like us to add that in?
For the Scandinavian,
And
it's in here.
it is in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
not that we're involved in the interviews, but it is that we appoint, the city council appoint.
Yeah.
Right. Although the council member who is over the Historic Preservation Board, which is Margie, she would probably be involved in those interviews,
Mm-hmm.
right, Margie?
Yes.
Yeah. And so we very much want that council member to be involved and then to have it come, I'm not saying that, this difference between 4 and 5 residents, I'm not saying that this is really loud.
Yes.
I'm not saying that that's a deal killer or anything, but what I'm saying is, I don't know, I just would like for our Ephraim residents to be more invested.
Have more guaranteed spots on the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
Council, what do you?
I think that's good.
I can see the importance of having an outside group coming in to, particularly as they, you might have greater knowledge about preservation and even a greater resources about preservation of historic buildings, but I don't know. Brian, do you have a hand?
I just wondering, one possible thought shall be 5 Hebrew residents. Unless none can be found, then you can expand to others. Maybe you can put some enabling language in there.
Mayor, I have a question. Sarah, down at the Pioneer Home, would you think that having somebody from outside of Ephraim, because I know there's a lot of people that are engaged in that, do you think that having 2 people from outside would be enough to help engage in that? Because I know there's a lot of people from outside the area that are interested in trying to preserve the history. What has been your experience?
So I think the reason that it'd be really good to at least have 2, and I'm thinking of people that have been on the state historical board that live in our county, is because we need to learn how to preserve history. We need to learn how we're supposed to be doing things, and if we have those experts helping us, then we could do a whole lot more.
So would you suggest, in connection with this, would you suggest 2 or 3? What would be your suggestion?
I think it's simple. I would leave it at 3. And then we could still fill them with residents. But I'm thinking of a couple that are, have been with the church history department and the state historical department that I'm gonna personally ask to please be part of this, because they have so much they could teach us in moving forward. So, but I really think that, I would just leave it as is.
Because when you get a quorum for making decisions, there's a potentiality that a quorum would be, I'm just looking at unintended consequences. A quorum could be 2 residents and 3 non-residents that could be making, even though you have it could be making some decisions.
Yeah, I would at least 2. Leave it at least 2.
But also remember,
Sorry.
this is an advisory board. It's just an advisory board, and nothing's gonna get done without council stamp of approval. So even if you have 3 non-Ephraim residents vote on something or recommend something, when it comes down to it, it's you guys up there who make that decision.
Quorum on 4, so it could be 3, 1.
However, if this is making you uncomfortable, what we can do, I don't like having you legislate on the fly. So what we can do is take this back, adjust it to what you would prefer, and then bring it back to next council meeting.
Michael, you've done a great job though, putting all this together, so good.
Thank you. It's been a learning curve, so.
Can I ask another question, Mayor? Sure. Michael, I know as I'm looking at this and I'm just seeing that we're trying to have a historical preservation of policies and programs, but is there any criteria that you're using that would help us identify something that would fit into those categories? Do they have to be designated that by a historical site, or is it just something that's agreed upon? How do we determine what would be considered a historical site that needs to be preserved? Or-
If we own it, if
So
we,
so we have to own it. I mean, that it's historical, is that, because you also have in here, I was looking at it, not only are we talking about policies and programs, but also potential, where was the wording of that? That even prehistoric things possibly, like, I take that as considering maybe some of the Native American potential sites and things that might be found in here. So as I was just looking through that and reading that, I'm just wondering, so do we determine as a city council that that is a historic site and then it becomes underneath your preview, or is there criteria that we've already put in place? I'm new, so I don't know, that's why I'm asking those questions.
So that would be, something for to be discussed. The bylaws don't specifically state that. In regards to the prehistoric areas, Article 1 is pulled straight from Utah Code. So that is not my
Yeah,
wording.
and that's where it's found, is the prehistoric areas, and so it's flying in.
That is, taken directly from Utah Code and the state's, legal or allowing the city to create under state law, this historic board. So, as far as identifying, the direction I have received is it would be just city-owned historic buildings. So what is already currently owned by the city and known to be historic. But if we can create those parameters for as other buildings age, because right now most of those properties are pioneer, but we would want to start preserving mid-century buildings in the future as they get older, that the city may own. Eventually this building we're in could be considered historic as well, so that would be something to be determined. Is whether you want the advisory board to present potential city properties for inclusion as historically significant, or if you want us just to work up with what's currently considered historic. So, and city council just decides and says, here's another property for you to help advise us on. So if that needs to be added to the bylaws, we can do that as well.
So council members, what are you feeling about this? Can we pass this and then let them, can we pass it as it is? Maybe
And then amend
with
it.
one or two additions, or maybe one or none, and then let Michael work on it from there.
Or additions, either way.
I personally like to see us go closer to right the first time.
Can I make a suggestion, Mayor?
Yep.
Just, when you pass a resolution like this for bylaws, if there's a small amendment, changing it from 3 to 2 or something, that's great. Pass it as an amendment, the resolution. But if you have more substantial changes than that, it's better, because these bylaws are gonna go into city record with this resolution. So if there are several, it's better for them to go into our permanent city history as you would like them to be, rather than multiple things that are gonna change down the road. Because if somebody comes in 10 years from now and pulls that resolution, they're gonna assume what's attached to it is what was passed. If that makes sense.
My personal vote would be to pass it as is. I mean, I like this language here. The non-residents must have significant investment and connection to Ephraim. Right, be a business owner or they have a historic connection to Ephraim. And as a council, we are going to be able to appoint them. Right, we will have a say whether they're there or not. I mean, I think of family members of the Hans Hansen, my cousins, whether had been or, you know, somebody like that. So I'm fine with 3. But I'm fine if you guys vote me as well.
It would also allow like the CCA Christians and family
Yeah.
descendants to have,
And they have a lot to say.
they do. But we do have some of the family living here in Ephraim, correct? Yeah,
Carolyn Christensen.
but would allow
Marcia Christian.
some of the non
And
residents from that family to potentially participate as well.
well, I'm personally, I'm fine with it the way it reads.
I am.
I just brought those, you know, things up to think about, I think.
And this is only for the board, it's not for the sites themselves, the property that is owned. This is just discussing the board here. I am curious though about how we can determine a historical site. At least, I think we need to have at least a process in place. If we want to determine that it comes before the city council and is voted upon there to become a historical site and added to the list that we have or not.
Well, we have to own
Right.
Sarah, you have a,
Can I explain that just
Please.
really easily?
Please.
So the city owns how many historical buildings did we decide? The 3 on this side, the library and Pioneer Park, the city owns, they're on the state historical register. The board will be over it, deciding what we do with those buildings, if something needs to be done, or we need to bring something in. The prehistoric sites and the other things like that, that is down the road if we decide the family wants to sell the city, Witches Knoll, where there was a big, Native American settlement on, then the board would gather all that information and make that presentation to the city council and the city council will decide. So this is just saying, that's what the board will do, is take care of all this future stuff and make it simple for you guys instead of you having to do the work.
Right, and I agree with that. I'm just not sure this says that. That's what, does it show that there? Did I
Yeah,
miss
it
that?
says that.
Article 6,
Okay,
sections 1 and 2.
so when I read that, I must have missed that then.
Yeah, so the board would conduct a survey under Article 6, Section 1.
In section 2, the committee will make recommendations to the city council.
Okay, perfect. That's what I was looking at. I missed that. Thank you.
Any other thoughts, council members? Looking for a motion?
I'll make the motion. Is it 15 or 14? Okay. That we approve Ephraim City Resolution 2515, a resolution adopting bylaws and formation of a historic committee.
I second the motion.
Motion made by Councilmember Anderson, second by Councilmember Birch, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Passes
Thank you
unanimously.
again, Mike.
You're welcome.
Would you make sure that the numbering gets corrected in that? I don't know what it says in the official document here,
It says 15.
does it? Yep, 15. Thank you. All right, council reports, we'll start with Councilmember Birch.
So I had quite a learning curve the last few weeks. But I've been very grateful and one thing that I have been very much appreciative of and very much I've noticed is the hard work that is put in by the city employees, the volunteers that are on the board. And I have noticed that they are all doing a marvelous job and the best they can do. And we may not always agree with everything they're doing, but they are very diligent in the work that they're doing. And I've been very much appreciative of that. We are in a time of year where we have not a lot of water coming in through rain and other things. And we have because of heat, we're using a lot of power. And so right now, this last few weeks, we've actually seen some of the highest usages of water and of power that we've had. But because of the foresight of individuals in the past, we're able to deal with it. And we've done well. And I'm just, the utility board is doing a great job, and just really grateful for them. So I'm just really appreciative, and I hope that people are aware, if they haven't been, just what great employees and volunteers we have to serve in this community and in this city, and they're doing a great job. And that's one of the things I just really realized the last few weeks. So,
Thank you. Councilmember Anderson,
I don't have anything.
Councilmember Stevens, Councilmember Northfall.
We had a successful debrief dinner for the Scandinavian Festival. We didn't get everybody there that was on the committee, but a good number. And it was the same day as the grand opening of the skate park bowl, which was, I would say, a great success as well. Had a lot of people show up, and Jordan and Marshall did a great job with that as well. Rec board, they're looking for ways to get a new playground to replace our old playground that we have removed from the North Park, and we've got some RAP tax money for that, and hopefully that will be moving forward. And they're real excited about the pickleball court, hopefully coming in the future.
Thank you. Katie and I met with the Ferguson group on a week ago. Wow, it's been a week.
It's been a week.
It hasn't it? And they're working with federal legislative reps on some future funding that we're chasing. As a city, we're encouraged by that. There's a lot of uproar in Washington, D.C. on the big, beautiful bill and how all of that settles out. And then this past week, I've written a lot of letters. And I've had one response, and so which was a very positive response. And that's all I have. Katie?
Nothing.
Okay. I don't see any reason for a closed session meeting. I don't.
I'll make the motion to go to the city council meeting.
Motion made by Councilmember Stevens,
Second.
is a tie. Second by Councilmember Nordfeld. All in favor?
Yes.
We're done.
What up? Oh,
Right.
oh, that was easy.
Like the state.
You win. Upstairs, but you won tough dogs.
Those lines.
And happy birthday.
We need to tell Howard that they were